Okay, so I made a video about this, but I'm still going to reiterate the point for anybody who I don't want to say who cares or anything, because I just really don't. For the longest time in my life, at 36 years old, I really used to care what people thought about me. I was really sensitive about it. If somebody said anything derogatory, which it didn't happen a lot, but I mean, relative to what these kids are going through now, I honestly can say unequivocally with 100% certainty and full truth out of my mouth, I do not care what anybody on this planet thinks about me. I don't care what my mom thinks. I don't care what my dad thinks. I mean, sure, I want them to be proud of me and things like that, but if it came down to, you know, oh, well, we don't believe in what you're doing, and if you don't stop doing what you're doing, we're not going to be family, then I wouldn't have a family. And the only person that I belong to is Jesus Christ and God. I don't belong to my guardian angel. I don't belong to any of the angels. Even though the graffiti angels and some of the projects that I'm working on are about these angels who infiltrate the life of this poor character. Oh, this poor girl. Anyway, my movies come to life. They don't just get produced. And they're all based on actual events. Part of the reason that I didn't want to start posting things onto YouTube was because I knew that I was gonna start getting shit from people that don't know anything about me. And so I made a video earlier about this guy who said, well, you know, based on what I've seen, blah blah blah, about my attitude towards Mel Gibson. That guy does not know that I sent Mel Gibson a huge care package first. He doesn't know the array of different phone calls that I had made. I'm a show don't tell kind of person. But I am still an individual who has had to work really, really hard this last year. There's no way that God was going to throw me out to those freaking Hollywood wolves, or have a reporter or some paparazzi or anybody coming onto my property asking me questions about my life without me being fully prepared. And now I'm fully prepared to do that. So what the significance is of all of this to you is that the rapture's closer and the tribulation's closer. They're like two opposite teams that come, just like that scene in Braveheart when you just see the opposition to each other. Wars, that's how these wars would start out, two sides. And then it would come down to who was going to support this side or that side. Which side is right? Which side's fighting for what? Those are the reasons that I was interested in working with Mel Gibson. And when I first started calling, the very first call that I ever made to Icon Productions, because I want to clear the air about this really quick, I said, look, I have this Redeemer project. It would be really cool if he could get in on it. Did I expect a phone call? No. Did I act and behave as though I expected a phone call? Yes. But see, that's the thing. In all of this big blah, 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 that became the blob of my life, is that, hang on, I was ready for this one. Ooh, I pulled this out and I didn't know why. This is how I know. You guys need to know what's up. I can't believe people are... The guy that wrote to me tonight is like, I can't believe that people aren't just dying to, you know, watch this. I believe this song was on the Garden State soundtrack. Let me look it up here. Panic, da-da-da, performed by the Shins. Yeah, New Slang by the Shins. New Slang by the Shins. Tell me I didn't freaking know that was gonna happen. Holy Moses. JCB's sitting up on my fridge and he's like, Angela, pull out your Garden State thing because this movie was funded in a very unorthodox way. I'm like, alright. Had no clue where he was taking me on this freaking magic carpet ride. This is a good movie. Garden State. And Zach, or whatever his name is, that made that movie Garden State, he said it's all about the soundtrack. This music will change your life. And there you go. New Slang by the Shins is on the soundtrack to the Garden State. Oh, Mother Mary! Anyway, Okay, so I'll just tell you guys all of it now before I like go to bed, because I've been doing this for 15 hours today. Okay. There's a difference between a vision and a prophetic dream. And a vision, they're not hallucinations, they're not delusions. My wanting to build a theme park and build, you know, and to write scripts and to do everything. Oprah Winfrey's done a whole lot with her life. She used to say I was destined for greatness. I was destined to do great things. Did that make her delusional? No! She just went and did these things. And I am a person who could come up the ranks of a ladder just as easily as anybody else. It's just that my stuff is so creative that people just can't wrap their brains around it, dude. So they're like, psh, we're gonna write it off as grandiosity because she'll never achieve that. Well, let me tell you a little something. Especially to Dr. Sitar. Because I'm gonna start going through my medical records and I'm hopping all over the place because I was on one track and now the shins thing just threw me for a loop. I'm going to go through my medical records and I'm going to read every single word that every single person ever wrote about me. And what I'm going to do with the psychiatrist that I have now is to write out exactly what happened, the time that it happened, my take and my opinion as to why these people wrote what they did, how I feel that it was a miscarriage of justice, and I'm going to go through my whole file of my medical record. And then, at the very end, which this will probably take me a good 2 to 3 years to finish, because hell, I've been working on Jesus and Lithium for 8 years now. What's 2 more? You know, I've just decided that the world can wait for me. I used to get so bent, I used to get so upset, and I would make myself literally sick. Psychologically, I mean, spiritually, I would see these horrible things happen and this devastation across the land. And I would just fall apart. I couldn't cope because I love people so much. It's kind of like the love that a person has for their dog when they're an animal person, or a mother or father has for their child. That's how it kind of started to emerge as, Angela, you're a mother to the world. You're not trying to take the place of Mary. You're just coming along and pushing her back up and holding her. And who holds me? You want to know who holds me? My son. My son's name is Christopher, and it means Christ bearer or carrier of Christ. So I'm holding Mary, and I'm holding the saints, and I'm holding Jesus, and I'm pushing with all my might to hold all of that weight. And he's underneath me holding it just as much as I am. Is that fair to him? No. But I knew before I ever breathed life into that child, when he was in my stomach before I ever even knew it, I told God, and I came out of my coma because of him, if there would have been no Christopher, there would be no me right now. And if you want to know what that means, then you're just going to have to look at all the clips and be patient with me. You know, I'm always constantly sitting there tell JC the same thing. I tell him, like, I can't save the world. You already came and did that. What the hell am I supposed to do? I can't be their savior, and I don't want to be their Messiah. I want them to find you on their own. And he just shakes his head, and he's like, I'm sorry, but they can't. They need you. They need you as much as I need you. And I needed those disciples and apostles. And you need the people that you're going to work with. So, the good news is, I talked to my brother tonight with some of the things that I'm going to film in the next couple months when he's around. I'm going to have him film for me so I can use both of my hands and demonstrate and show you guys the things that I've learned from Jesus when I was by myself. Alright, I think I'm ready to end this clip on a positive note. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good. And I want to push and plug the movie Garden State. It's a movie about this crazy girl that falls in love with this guy, and then, you know, your classic love story. And I'm gonna run out of time, but hang on, what do I have? Okay, I've got 20 seconds. You gotta hear this song. It'll change your life, I promise you. Maybe that's all the family really is, a group of people who miss the same imaginary places. Good luck exploring the infinite abyss. Alright, bye.